Okay, here we are in the car. We just got a bunch of cardboard, stuck it in the back seat. I've been in a seriously cranky mood. Not that bad,
seriously cranky.
I have to fight it, and whenever I have to fight my own crankiness, it sucks.
Maybe I should roll this up because of all the stupid traffic noise.
Sure, I hate noise pollution. Noise pollution steals so much of your energy that you don't even realize it's taking. We're at my post office box place, the whole package, where I really love Charles and Sabrina who run this. We'll have to ask their permission before we talk about them, but show any of this stuff. But,
sure.
But I was like talking to Darren, and I was like worrying about the cold because we woke up cold this morning, and well, we went to the bank and we're supposed to have money, and there is none.
Big surprise, right?
And
you mentioned the post office. A little bit of history. This is where we shot the chicken one.
Yeah.
Vintage Land of Tranquility.
Yeah. And this is a different parking space at the moment, and so I was like looking around. Well, we didn't have any money, and I'm like, I wanted to buy hay bales today.
We wanted to buy. There's one you don't hear often. We wanted to buy hay bales
to insulate our van, as you guys should know by now, if you saw the clips that we haven't uploaded yet, but we will be uploading soon. And so I was like, Darren was talking to me, and I was like going like this, and I'm like explaining, I'm looking around for cardboard so we can insulate. And then I looked over there. I'm gonna show them in the recycle bin.
Oh dear, our battery is low. It's okay, we probably got more in there.
Yeah, that's why I brought the whole thing. And this isn't a regular post office. This is a business, private business where they rent out mailboxes. It's totally cool. So anyway, there's all this cardboard in the recycle bin, and I said, let's go ask Charles if we can have that. And we did, and he said, yes, of course you can have it. And he has no idea what we're, why we're asking for it, but...
What does he know?
Yeah. We're gonna take over the world now. So now we can insulate our home.
I like that. We're going to take over the world. We're very crafty people.
So I broke down instead of going to Sonic, which is where I wanted to go. And you guys, I've been eating 3 meals a day lately. And I'm going to blow up like a balloon. And my baby has been eating too.
So instead of Sonic today, we had pumpkin pie.
And it was good. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was good.
Jody wrote a song for it.
Yeah, I'm very creative.
Should we call it a she or a he or an it?
She.
Okay. She is my pumpkin pie. No. Pumpkin pie. That's all we've got.
That's all we've got so far, but it's so great. I don't think we need any more.
No, really.
Yeah,
we could just repeat that like 20 times.
Yeah.
Boom. Top 10 hit.
Right on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hate to steer away from that subject, but so I ate my pumpkin pie. I broke down and ate it, and I was like, you said the other day you were being a prima donna.
Yeah, I was.
I'm being a big baby, throwing a fit, because we don't have any money. And the fact is, when we get the money, we got to be careful with it anyway. And I think that's what I'm really throwing the fit over. Being responsible and an adult, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's weird because once we learn how to be responsible with money, we'll probably have so much we won't really have to be going without.
Hopefully.
We will be responsible then, but we have to learn to be responsible.
The big baby part. Does my big baby need a spank?
You're just the one to do it.
You know I am.
So, anyway, we sat here and we started going through the day. I'm like, okay, I always look for something little to like pull me out of the dumps.
Usually it's a trip to the thrift store.
No, that's big.
Okay.
Because that's like, well, it's big, but my baby, I'll tell him about this thrift store thing. That's turned me around. It was, well, tell him. Tell him now.
Which part? I don't know.
I don't know about me grumping and complaining and saying, well, we were going to go to the thrift store. We do have $150 plus $20, $170 until maybe tomorrow.
We were worried
until we get more money.
We ultimately didn't go directly to Sonic because tonight, depending on
Excuse me.
Bless you, honey. What Jody's film production teacher says, if it'll affect her poorly if she misses a class tonight, in order to go see a film thing that we really connect with this
Liam is
yeah
encouraging his students to go to it.
Yeah,
and we
can
keep
tell 'em,
looking
right?
at ourselves. Sure, why not? We may not be able to show him anything, but
there's a dude named John Jost who he's I guess we could say a successful independent filmmaker.
yeah.
His MO, I guess he's 80 years old now. He just finished his latest film and they're screening it somewhere here in Santa Fe, and he's gonna be there speaking. And his thing is, he loves making films so much that he's too busy doing filmmaking to do something like get a place to live. Maybe he can't afford it even. Who knows?
He spends all his money on his film.
Yeah, and he lives in his car.
Oh shit! Is this going? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's so quiet you can't hear.
So here's this dude who lives in his car and drives around and makes films, and that's what he does with his time and his life. And hey, we can get behind that. So we want to we want to go. We want to meet the guy, but it happens to be at the same time as Jody's film production class, which, for reasons we won't mention, we've already missed a couple of. She doesn't want to miss anymore unless the teacher gives her the green light.
I'm gonna go ask him, and I'll probably stay for an hour at least. And I'll be there early doing my editing project too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It depends on him. I'm cool. I mean, I understand if he wants me to stay in class.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
I hate missing classes, even for very legitimate reasons, and.
If we're lucky, Jody's instructor has heard of John Jost and will be like, "Oh yeah, you gotta go."
And I can do a report on it.
Sure,
next
he
week.
might appreciate it.
And it would be fun for the class and me and everybody.
And what I would do if we're both able to go, if you're into the idea, is see if it's possible to introduce ourselves and ask him if we can film his speech. And then you could even show it to the class.
I'll let you do that. I'm kind of shy at the moment, but
yeah, I would totally.
But you're better at that, honey. You're not as starstruck and intimidated by these people who are successful, even though he lives in his car, like we.
Yeah, heck, if this guy would let us, we're like his little proteges in some ways. But of course, we haven't seen what he does.
I have.
Have you really?
Yeah, Liam showed it in class one day, and you were gone. You were in the other room doing editing or something, and I was like, Darren, you're missing it. But
was it cool?
Yeah, I mean, there were things I really, really appreciated about his work. One of them is that something we have in common. He has a unique. It's more than a style. It's this style of cinematography, or what and how he films. And it's from his car. That's why it's cool, It's basically he pulls up someplace and starts filming it. And I think I just, for our own reasons, I love that.
Yeah. So. Definitely.
And
sounds very cool.
So we're going to see if we can go do that tonight. And if not, I'll be in production class working. And I'm cool with that. I think my teacher Eric is so cool that he'll probably let us do that. But it depends. I mean, I don't know if he's ever, I'm not saying he's a new teacher, but he's a new teacher to SFCC, and this may be a new kind of like request I'm making. We'll see.
Yeah.
We can't figure it out until we ask. But last night we got a compliment. We went to Liam's evening class instead of his day class because I went to court and not court, the pre-hearing and pre-trial, but what were you going to say?
I just thought it's funny that we're always going to court. it's just
my
like,
baby walks past the judge in the other room and there's a glass window and he's like waving.
It's part of our normal calendar. It's like, let's see, Tuesday, okay, so let's see, breakfast here, this class, court, and, dinner with mom.
So anyway, basically I figured out what I want to do about the court thingy and got started on it while we were sitting there for an hour and a half. But then after we got to the school, we went to Liam's class. Well, that's not exactly how it worked. I went and wrote my production paper, my proposal for my film project, and uploaded Illumination, and I guess in one sense dedicated it to Tom Thompson. Yeah.
And you wrote a very, very, very nice write-up.
Well,
and I think
thank
he will
you.
appreciate
I mean,
it, and that makes me happy.
Basically, I just, in all of our write-ups, all I do is just like basically compliment ourselves, but somebody has to.
Yeah.
And Tom does. That's why I wanted to dedicate that one to him. He genuinely compliments us and really feels a sense of connection to our stuff. But, and then you can tell him what you did. I was mad at him. Let's get it out in the open.
Well, while we
Not
were
at that
while
point.
we were at court, I wrote like an outline, a little template for my midterm project for the class we were missing while we were at court. Though the paper was actually due a week ago, and this was the last day to turn it in. So, lucky for me, I had an outline. So by the time we got to the school 45 minutes before the class started, because we decided to attend the evening class. Oh yeah, because I got a little extension, because we thought the class started at 5:30, but Jody found out it started at 6.
Yeah.
So I had that much time to basically write the paper, and I ended up using over the amount of time, because I just don't write papers
I
that
went to
fast.
class.
I ended up showing up half an hour into class. Jody was irked because she said, "How much longer are you going to be?" And I said, 10 minutes. And what I should have said is 10 minutes, I hope. But yeah, 10 minutes
No, what
past,
he should have done is had his paper at 6 o'clock and ready to go into class.
Right, and I'm sure Jody would have done it because Jody can write a term paper in an hour. But
That doesn't mean it's going to be as good as your I don't call them term papers, but I guess that's what it is. I don't know what a term paper is, I guess.
What I really should have done is started sooner than an hour before class and had the thing done on time over a week ago, and not put it off.
I
till
had
last
mine
minute.
done last week.
Yeah.
But I wrote
She
it
started
in about
hers an
half
hour
an
before
hour.
class started.
But I got an A, by the way, everybody.
Yeah.
And
She wrote a great paper.
is it the best paper I've ever written? No. Did I feel like I really gave it the time and energy it deserved? No. Do I feel like anything, though, that I do gets the real time and energy it deserves? Probably not. There's like a compromise I have to make. Get it done. Get it done. So that's my attitude about stuff, and I can be a real... I don't always meet those deadlines and stuff. I don't want to say that, but I'm a stickler about that stuff. So I was irritated, and I'd never been in a class, in Liam's class, where every chair was taken. I had saved a chair for my sweetheart, and then people kept coming in, and finally I had to, out of politeness, relinquish my sweetheart's chair. And I made a joke. I said, well, he'll have to sit on my lap since he's running late. And then by the time he got there, which I kept looking back and you weren't coming in, and it stresses me out, that stuff. So
I was busy being stressed out trying to finish this paper. I ended up writing half of the paper that I had in mind and coming up with a quick solution to my problem, which was rewrite the first paragraph and basically chop the whole project in half. And now I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with my effort, and I learned my lesson, which
well,
is
that's part of the feeling of like when we don't really have time or whatever to throw our all into something. It is somewhat of a disappointment, even if we get a good grade.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we have priorities, and our priorities are film right now.
Yeah.
Me graduating and our film. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I laughed at our priorities because, well, like I told Jody last night, I keep saying, well, I didn't have time, and I didn't have time because I always chose to do something else instead. That's why. I'm sort of starting to see that if sometimes you have to make time, or and actually put your nose to the grindstone, even if you'd rather your nose be to a different grindstone if you want to finish everything in a timely fashion and as nicely as possible to everyone's satisfaction, and yada yada. So I'm gonna write the other half of the paper and present it to Liam, not for a grade, just because I want to, for just because it was worth writing. I wanted, and I feel incomplete, like there's this empty space somewhere that needs to be filled with the other half of that paper, the paper I intended to write but didn't.
And all of this is, I went and grabbed the camera because we were talking about some cool shit, but we're still not there yet. But when I walked into class, Craig of Craig and Robbie fame comes up to me and he says, "Hey, we watched your clip. We were laughing so hard." And I'm like, "What clip?" I got confused because they're named in Frankenchord. He said Frankenchord. Right. I'm like, Frankenchord? He's like, yeah. He's like, we laughed so hard, we have to watch it again because it was so funny. And so when Darren got there, I said we got compliments on our stuff. And then in the hallway, we were caught by other people who also complimented us over break, several people. And we may have a small crowd, but they love us. And I also told Craig and Robbie, go back and watch To Be or Not to Be Arrested. We think you'll like that one a lot. So anyway, it felt good to have that affirmation, to have someone light up and smile real big thinking about our clips, and that was cool. I told him you guys are a running theme in our, a recurring, like
name keeps coming up.
Yeah, in our film, because they're in our lives. They may be somewhat out there, but that medicine, I'm trying to heal myself faster than I can pick at myself. Last night, this one hurt bad all night. Ay, you crazy woman. Anyway, while we're sitting here, we decided we're going to go to the storage unit, probably stop at the thrift store, and use some restraint while we're there, and then go to the storage unit, get some stuff for insulation, and listen to
there's a radio show presented by New Mexico Film Office. We don't know exactly what it's about, but we're going to find out.
It's about film.
Probably. Right? It's about
10 minutes long. No.
About an orange.
What's a hen weigh? About 4 pounds.
I was just stumped from the beginning.
Anyway, everybody watching this, well, of my era at least, knows all these jokes. But the young folks will be surprised, and we'll keep them alive that way.
Yeah. The jokes or the young folks?
It'll be The gangbangers that we gave a shout out to
Yeah.
a long time ago. We haven't posted that yet, and probably all the gangbangers are sitting there going, "What the fuck? They're leaving us out."
Yeah.
But we haven't left you out. That's the thing. But now they'll be going around on the streets and they'll like stop their gang wars and say, "Hey, how do you catch a unique bird?"
I don't know. How do you?
You know, unique up on them. And they'll be like about to like get in a scrap, and then they'll say, "Oh, what's a hen weigh?" And the other one will be like,
What does a hen weigh?
"No, what is a hen weigh?
Oh.
What's a hen weigh?"
Oh, what's a hen weigh? Okay.
Yeah. About 4 pounds. Oh, honey. So anyway, it's kind of like showing Harold and Maude to my students, and kind of the way that Liam does. He shows films to his students to keep them alive. That's what I do with my jokes. To keep them alive. Anyway, that could save a life.
It could.
Yeah.
It could, yes.
But anyway,
I see what you mean.
yeah,
I
see
just
what
put it all
I put
together,
it in a
yeah,
context that actually makes a hell of a lot of sense. But so we were sitting here talking about,
We were talking about doing some
we have endless ideas, you guys,
opening title sequences. for
and my baby is an expert at it.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, you came up with the idea.
I know, but you've already created. Honey, you've done it, and I've seen it, and that's why I get inspired by this. And then you got inspired, and then I got inspired, and then you got inspired, and then we got inspired.
We're good like that.
We're good.
So, did you want to tell them your idea for?
Well, you
Yeah.
had the idea. It was the
Well, it was just that we're talking about starting to post our armchair sessions regularly.
we can't wait because I really love the armchair sessions. Don't you?
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
of course,
I really
they're like
like
a
them a
staple
lot.
of the land of tranquil light. So
Yeah.
But-
and those were your ideas.
were they?
I don't remember,
I
but
don't know.
they're cool.
You inspired them from the get-go.
Well, I
we
bought
were at
the
Walmart,
chairs.
and she's like, "Look, we need these chairs," and I was like, "We do?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay."
He always resists me on this stuff. I'm like, why? Why are you
And then we
resisting?
use them like
Resistance
like
is futile.
like the fry pan, like the let's
The
see, what
hammer and
else? The hammer and
nails.
nails. We've used the hammer and nails. I thought we're never gonna.
And the
use a hammer
X-Acto
and
knife, it's gonna come in handy here pretty
Yeah.
soon with this cardboard.
Let's see, what have we got that we haven't used yet?
We got those screws and they worked.
Yeah,
We
my
used them.
baby fixed our tripod, so now we have 2 tripods, and the new tripod that my baby insisted we get at.
The new tripod and the old tripod and the new tripod and the old tripod. I don't know what I'm actually saying, but it's got quite a rhythm
It does.
to it.
It's catchy, baby. And she does that, and then it gets stuck in my head for hours. And it drives me insane. It's true.
You'll be sitting in the theater thinking,